So I've got my 15 by 11 watercolour paper clipped to a piece of plywood, and I'm going to start by taking the large rake and just wetting the paper all over, nice and even. See, that way, even though it's only £130 paper, but because it's wet all over evenly, it'll stretch evenly, and so it's just a case of refixing it over on the one side. So once I've got all that soaked in, you need to allow, so it needs to take at least a couple of minutes to dry, otherwise you won't get a chance to get the skying, you get all hard edges. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the raw sienna, just put that on, no particular order, just nice and just random all the way down to the bottom of the page. Clean the brush, just take off the excess water with the old tea towel there, and I'm going to go into the ultramarine blue. Remember, we've already got water on the paper, so you need to compensate for that by taking some off the brush. I'm just going to work that all the way down, maybe a bit in from the other side. Right then, so the first thing I'm going to do after that is these distant trees on the far side of the lake. So I'm just going to stick with the same two colours, raw sienna, ultramarine, remembering that the blue side of the spectrum helps push our distant objects, just helps create that illusion. And for this, I think either a third of the way down or 2/3 of the way down. Well, always remember the rule of thirds, it just helps better with your composition. So I think I'm going to go just 1/3 of the way down. I think just start just using the corner of the brush, working from left to right. And you can see, because I've got the two colours on the brush at the same time, and they're not particularly mixed very well, you get this nice effect on the paper. You get the ultramarine, the raw sienna, and all the little subtle colours in between. Remembering to keep it fairly parallel. Whenever we got water, you want to keep the banks parallel to the bottom of the paper, because otherwise it looks as if the water's falling off one side or the other. But I'm just going to continue this along to the right hand side. I don't need to go right over because we've got some bushes covering that far, so I'm just going to dip. You can see how the hairs on the brush have come apart slightly, so I'm just going to dip the very tips of them into the water. You can see how they've come back together again. Take the excess off on the tea towel, and then back into our raw sienna and ultramarine. And I'm just going to straighten up this far bank, just try and get it nice and even, nice and level. I think that's enough for that side. Now you can see how the paper's stretched all over. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to release these two clips on this right hand side. Pull the paper tight